Our roofing company's trending 70% metal anymore. It used to be that we had to sell metal to homeowners, but now a lot of times homeowners are asking for metal the first time they call us, at least asking for pricing. So you've decided you want a metal roof, you don't realize that there's a bunch of different types of metal roofs. So I'm making this video to explain the 4 main metal offerings we have, the differences, pros and cons between all of them. We're going to discuss the panels in order of least expensive to most expensive. So we'll just move down the board starting with the cheapest, the most economical. 5V exposed fastener. It's called exposed fastener because the fasteners are put on top of the metal and they are always exposed to sun and water. That means they'll wear. So the screws will not last the full life of the roof. So you have an added maintenance cost with this panel down the road. Wind ratings, 292 miles an hour. It's one of the strongest metal roofs we can give you, and that's because the screws get put on these high rib section of the panels, and they're 12 inches apart. Whereas the rest of the panels are about 16 inches wide, so this panel has more screws per square foot than the rest of them, so it's one of the strongest. Money, we said it before, cheapest metal roof we can give you, so maybe that's a benefit for you. Warranty, this is a big one. So for this system, the warranty is a little goofy because the warranty reads that as soon as you put punctures in the metal, the warranty is void, and these screws actually count as punctures. So by installing these screws into the metal roof, we are avoiding the warranty from the metal manufacturer. The next panel we're going to talk about is nail strip. It comes with a 1-inch rib height and 1.5 inches, so a little taller. This is a concealed fastener system, meaning that the panel fasteners get installed underneath the metal and are never exposed to the weather. The screws get installed in these little slots every 6 inches. And then the next panel locks and covers the screws so you have no exposed fasteners. The downside to this panel is something called oil canning, which is little waviness in the panel that happens because of expansion and contraction. So when you go from hotter to cold temperatures, the panel wants to expand and contract and move. But because we're screwing the panel directly to the roof, it has no room to do that, so then you get little imperfections in the panel. So that would be the major downside to this one. As far as wind ratings, 262 miles an hour, so a little less than the previous panel, but still very strong. All metal roofs are going to get you high wind ratings, probably the best roof if we're worried about hurricanes, and that's why we're starting to see them so much in Florida. The next panel we're going to talk about is a SnapLock panel with clips, clips being the important thing here. So on this panel, we have no nail strip like the last panel for the screws. We have these clips that we install separately. So we lock the clips in like this, and then we fasten the clip to the roof. The benefit here is because now the panel can move and stretch. So that item about oil canning, this is a far better panel to prevent oil canning. If we look at the wind ratings, we're 250 miles an hour. So we're actually a little less than the 1-inch SnapLock, but we're preventing oil canning. So in our opinion, it's worth trading the 12 miles an hour to prevent the oil canning because oil canning can be pretty ugly. And it's a shame to install a brand new metal roof, pay all the money, and then not like something about it. So we like to push you to this one if we're looking at these two. We saved the best panel for last, mechanical seam. So this panel is by far the best, most expensive panel we have to offer, and here's why. It gets installed similar to the last panel with clips and screws, but the way that the panels are locked together is slightly different. We run this machine down every panel, and it mechanically locks the panels together. And that's why we're able to give you a 292 mile per hour wind rating on this panel. The same as the first panel, except with here, you have no concealed fasteners. So this roof has no maintenance, it's the strongest in a hurricane, and that's why it's the most expensive roof we have. In closing, any metal panel you choose for your home is going to be a great choice. They all have wind ratings over Category 5 wind speeds. The type of panel you decide on, well, that'll be up to you, and that's the reason we made this video, because these are the major factors you'll want to look at. If you need any further help, we're happy to discuss it with you.